think we're on. Let me just check. Oh, not yet. All right, everyone. Welcome to our live. I'm so happy to be here with you, Kim. Thank you for being here with us. You know me, I'm Narit, Coach Narit, owner of the creator of the Midlife Makeover Program. So first of all, I just want to say that for every comment, love, heart that you all get, that you all leave for Kim today, it's $1 towards Amazon. So let us know if you're watching here live or on the replay, and fill this comment section with love for Kim for coming on here, sharing her super inspiring and emotional story with us so we can reward her for all her hard work. Okay, Kim, first of all, tell us who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me today. My name is Kim. I live in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. And what do I do? I am an athletic
Actually,
secretary.
pretty exciting because I've seen a lot of your posts, but anyway.
Yes, I am an athletic secretary for our local high school, so very involved in the sports world. Always have been a like athletic supporter, just not an athlete.
I mean, very relatable.
Mhm.
So you are very inspirational. You have a very emotional story, and it's going to inspire so many people. So can you just give us your background, like what was going on with your health, with your life prior to starting the midlife makeover program?
Well, it's kind of like how I found out about you. I've been in the caregiving mode kind of like almost full time for probably the last, I want to say like 6 or 7 years, like constant. And I ended up meeting Sarah because my husband was diagnosed with frontotemporal degeneration, which is a degenerative brain illness that not a lot of people know about, although it's the most common form of dementia in people under the age of 60. My husband was diagnosed at age 58, December of 2019. The year prior to that, we had lost his stepmother to lung cancer. My son was diagnosed with kidney cancer, had his kidney removed. And as soon as he got a clean bill of health and went back to college, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, moved in with me for a month, did hospice. He passed away. My one of my real good friends that had moved away died very suddenly at the age of 57. And my husband was acting stranger and stranger. I did not know about the FTD at that time. My mom was having issues with her Parkinson's. She had recently been widowed and lived in New York State alone. So we were trying to like care for her and figure out what we needed to do with her. So it was just a lot of dealing with one crisis to the next and just no time for myself, which was fine because, you know, I'm fine as long as I don't have to think about anything that I'm doing. But Jeff's his illness was very rapid. We found out that it was FTD December of 2019, and he passed away June of 2020. So it just is coming up on 5 years. And he was also additionally diagnosed with ALS. It was a bulbar onset attacking his lungs. He was put in the hospital in February of 2020. He never was able to come out. He was on a ventilator. And that was yeah, it was just crazy. Like it's something that when I talk to people about it, I say I still can't believe I actually lived it, even though I did. It was a crazy time in everybody's life because of COVID. But it was just super crazy with that. And then I was still helping take care of my mom, although she was in a like a senior living a facility not too far away from me, fortunately. And she just passed away. It was just a year last week. So I'm in a very griefy time of the year,
Yeah.
but also it's a good time of year because my son's birthday is tomorrow and my birthday is Sunday, and I am turning 60. And I just decided after taking care of everybody that, like, I'm just not where I want to be. I have an image of what I look like in my head, and when I look in the mirror, it's not the same. So, what am I going to do to get there? And just kind of kept seeing your, little things here and there and thought, well, I guess what do I have to lose?
And Thank you for being so open and sharing real life because that's kind of who we serve, people with real lives. I can relate to a diagnosis over COVID, and how difficult that is. And we all have our things. So thank you for being so open and so kind and empathetic and sharing your story. I would love to hear, what do you feel like are your biggest wins for yourself since you started this program?
Well, typically, I mean, I'll try something and not that I ever found anything real hard, but then something would come up and sort of like take my focus away from it. And again, um, I'm really not into this for necessarily weight loss. I've been thin my entire life. I've been blessed with genetics from my dad's side of the family that all the guys are really tall and skinny and eat as much as they want. And fortunately, that's right true for me for most of my life. But obviously, having two children and eating whatever I want, you're just not in the shape. You notice it when you're doing things where it's like, oh wait, I thought I could do more than that. So starting this, the one thing that I liked is that I was being held accountable because that's what I need. It's too easy to get up in the morning and say, oh, you know what? I don't have enough time. I'll do it later today or I'll do it tomorrow because something always happens to take that time away. So that's what's I've found to be the best part of this program. And not that you or Sarah are hanging over my head being like, Kim, you didn't do that yet. But I just like the consistency that it's provided me to actually get up in the morning, do my workout, and then start my day. And I really haven't lost anything. Instead of like maybe like reading emails or doing something like that, I'm just doing physical activity and it's not taking me long to do it. And that's what I really appreciate about the program. I'm not a gym rat. I don't want to go to the gym and pretend I know what I'm doing for an hour. And it always seems like it has to be at least an hour or you're not doing anything. And that's the best thing about this program. I haven't worked that hard and I've really seen results.
I love that. And I love stacking wins in the morning. And that's why we're pretty big on that. Like I love doing something physical in the morning. I feel like it sets the tone for the day. So I'd love it for you. So I love that you're seeing results. That's a big deal. Before you started on your journey with us, I would love to hear like if you had any like concerns, doubts, fears like creeping in before you started.
You mean about doing the program or just about my health in general?
Either one.
Um, I did kind of wonder if I was going to be able to pull my weight, so to speak, and do what I needed to do. And I wasn't sure how difficult it would be because, like I said, I love sports, but I am not an athlete by any stretch of the means. So I really like the fact that you guys have the videos to how to do something. And then if I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, Sarah's always like, just take a video and send it to me and I can tell you if it's right or wrong. The plan's just really laid out so well that it's just so easy. And it's so funny because my older son recently got engaged and his fiance is working on weight loss and getting in better shape. And I'm like, oh, you just need to grab a few things and I can show you a couple things. I'm like, when would I ever have thought I could say that to someone? And I'm just like, I've just realized that it's just something that is really easy. And I think I just needed somebody to say, like, if you do it, and you see the results, and I can just report that I'm doing it, that was the thing I needed to really get me going instead of relying on somebody to like meet me at the gym or meet me for a walk. And I've just gotten into the habit of doing my workouts in the morning, trying to do a walk, whether it's outside, whether it's on the walking pad at night. Like I have 15, 20 minutes, I can get a mile and a half in. It doesn't take that long and it makes me feel good. I definitely notice the difference in my energy level. I wake up in the morning and I'm ready to get up. I'm not laying there like, oh, please give me one more hour. Maybe on a rainy weekend, but um,
Okay.
it really has helped me see that, I can do this.
I love that. I think like a lot of times people don't continue doing something because they're not feeling the results. I'd love to hear like what changed from a mindset perspective doing this program for you.
I think just actually doing it, realizing that it isn't going to take hours. It's very simple. And I think the biggest thing for a lot of women is we just end up comparing ourselves against somebody else. And, you know, I can't look at anybody else that's in the program and say, like, oh my gosh, like I'm not doing what she's doing. But again, you guys say this all the time. You don't know where they started. You don't know what they're doing. And it's funny, some of the ladies I've seen are like, oh God, I just hit this abdominal workout and I haven't done that. And I'm like, oh, wait, but they've been in the program longer, but I already did that. And that's because we're all different and we're all doing different things and starting points. And, you know, my goal wasn't to lose weight, but I have lost weight. In fact, my boyfriend said to me like about a month or two ago, you're like really skinny. And I'm like, really? Because I don't feel like really skinny. I just feel like my body shape is changing because I am working out. And I think everything looks a little better and just yeah, okay, I've lost a few pounds, but not that much. So things like that, I've just kept that in mind. It's just like it's all about what I'm doing. And if I have an off week, it's okay. If I go over on calories, it's not a big deal. Food is food. Who cares? You can have anything you want, just can't have everything at the same time. And I don't want that. I mean, there are sometimes I get to the end of the day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have like 400 calories and I don't even really know if I want it. It's not restrictive. So I'm not like sitting here. I was a little worried about the counting, and the label reading and all that. I am not a label reader. I even said that to Sarah, like, I don't want to do that. But again, the supplements that you guys give us to make that easier has really helped, and it has made me so much more aware of what was going in my body and what I was lacking, and that has been a huge thing. And again, sorry,
Oh,
they
no.
see a rabbit.
I want to be clear. She's taught when she says supplements, she means like guides, not like supplements to take. We do not give supplements out. So I just wanted to be clear. We don't like give you pills or anything like that. Um, you just yeah, you muted yourself.
They're
What
they're
past
really barking.
say that again?
They're really barking.
Oh, that's it. I don't hear them. Um, what past experiences have you had when trying to like lose weight or get in shape? What was that like? Have you had any?
I haven't had a lot, but it would just be something like I try to do yoga in the morning, and because nobody was checking on me, I would kind of maybe half do it or not do it or, you know, do it for a while. I mean, it's so funny because I was always thinking when they say, oh, when you build a habit, if you do it for 30 days, I could do it for 50 days and then all of a sudden it'd be like, no, I'm done. And again, there's just always that voice in my head that like, well, I don't really need to lose weight. I'm not really trying to lose weight. But then, with my mom having Parkinson's and just watching her struggle with movement and things like that, and not that necessarily I'm at risk for Parkinson's, but who knows? You just don't know what you're at risk for anymore. Anything is possible since we don't know everything about all the medical conditions there are. I just thought, why not get myself in the best shape that I can be in right now? I mean, I'm turning 60. My younger son's getting married in August. Now my older son is getting married next year. I want to be around for them. I want to be around for grandkids. I want to be doing things. 60 to me is a number. I don't care, like whatever. But
Oh,
it's just, something that it's like, I know life is short. I've seen it over and over again. It's really hitting home, and I just want to make the most of, what I have.
I love that. And it is. It's just a number. Um, so what was, if you could sum up, what is your favorite part of the program? Like, the communications, like just you tell us, what was your favorite part of the program?
I mean, the support is fantastic. And obviously, I've never really had that trying to do my own thing. You just kind of like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And I'm not really seeing any results because I don't really know what I'm doing. And pairing the nutrition, I really like seeing that the way I'm eating and the way I'm moving now, and even just the way I even feel like I'm carrying myself. Like I just feel that overall difference and I just feel better. But it's everything. I mean, the support is great. I mean, there's been, early on, I had a couple things going on that I was going out and I wasn't sure how to navigate a menu in a restaurant. And, you and Sarah were great about like, oh, send us the menu. We'll help you like decide what would be a good choice. And just the overall messages that you guys, give. At times it may seem redundant, but the thing is, that is what works. And women want to find what works. The thing is, you got to work a little bit to get it to happen. It's nothing's going to happen and be really easy. I mean, there's times during workouts it's like, oh, I just don't want to do it, and technically I don't have to if I don't want to, but I also know I'm not going to feel as good as I do now if I do that.
Yeah, you definitely have pushed through and done such a great job. You should feel so accomplished. So, what would you say to like a woman like you, right? Who, may have been following us for a while, like reading our content, listening to our content, who's just thinking about this program but hasn't like pulled the trigger. What would you say to her?
I would just say to, really evaluate what you want. And if you really want to, get in shape and feel better, if you want to lose a few pounds, whatever, just try it. You guys did the little challenge in December. I don't remember what the name of the challenge was because we do a lot of challenges, so I lose track. But that's great too because it does motivate us to do, push ourselves a little bit more. And I tried that, and that's where I really learned like how simple this could be. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like doing simple little things for 15 minutes. Like I can do this. So that at least opened my mind a little bit more to be like, well, let me ask a few more questions and find out what the program's really all about. And I think that challenge was just a little bit of movement and exercise and a little bit of strength with maybe like drinking more water and maybe adding vegetables to your diet or something. It was something like really simple. So if you're sitting there and you really are like, I don't know, it looks interesting, maybe I should give it a try. You really don't have anything to lose. I mean, you might shock yourself like I have. I mean, I can't believe I've been doing this almost 6 months. That seems crazy. I feel like I just started. um, but it's definitely worked. Definitely worked. And I just, like I said, I see the results, I feel the results, and I'm not, you know, nobody's paying me to be on here to say
Oh
those,
yeah.
and like I said, I'm very honored because I'm not like, I didn't lose 50 pounds, so I'm not that typical person, but I know there's people out there like me that feel the same way. And it's just as you age you definitely want to stay as healthy as you can so you can do all the things you want to do with your life. I want to retire and do some fun stuff, so I want to be in good shape to be able to do that. So I think if you're kind of on the fence and you're wondering, like, talk to Norette or Sarah and just like find out what it's all about and give it a try.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for just being out here and sharing your amazing story, all of it, like where you're coming from, your why, your future and how you're setting yourself up. If you are listening today and you are like, wow, I just relate, like you feel like you are Kim, we work with people anywhere from wanting to lose, 10 to we have someone who lost 100 pounds, right? So but really, you just want to feel good, get in your best shape ever. We are doing a 12-week beach body challenge and we just launched it yesterday. So now is a really, really good time to just ask us, right? So you are just communicating with us, is sending a message, is not committing. So write Kim in the comments, or you can PM us, message us Kim to learn more. But please do not forget to give Kim a ton of love here for sharing and for being vulnerable. Vulnerability is what wins, and we leave vulnerability. Kim, thank you so much for taking time out today to come share your story with us. I am so appreciative of you as a human, and I'm so happy for you for all your wins, mentally and physically. Have the best day ever.
Thank you. And for Terry, go Bills.
Oh, for Terry.
For Terry.
Hi. Bye.